welcome to Overcharging Plasma Gaming, and today we've got a bit of a different video for you again. This is a kind of a pre-tournament chat with some of the people I've had on the channel recently. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, guys.
There's always one.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
So if you don't recognize them, in the top left we have John, then next to John we have Gavin, below Gavin we have Matty, and next to Matty we have Innes. As you can see, Matty is losing some pixels, but he's off on his hollybobs, just having a good time before the tournament. So if he cuts in and out, do forgive him, but he has audio this time, which is good. So what we're doing today is we're going to be just having a chat, going through our lists that we brought to the event, our expectations, and any matchups we're quite worried about. Obviously, we're all scared of Gavin and his ad.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
However, Gavin just told me that he will not be fully painted for the event, so I'll be just going through and picking up his models before the game starts.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
And I'll be there with a can of red. I'll be there with a can of Chaos Black to just spray out all his rangers so they get removed anyway. Start game one. Scoosh. Judge call.
But yeah, so I'll kick us off with my list because I'm not going to spend too long on it because you've seen it for 4,000 times on the channel by now. Just go watch it on Drukhari Battle Report and it'll be there. But it's Triple Patrol Drukhari, Blackheart, Obsidian Rose, and Cut of Strife for the 3 patrols. I've got a Master Archon and Court of the Archon with 4 Slith, 4 Argos on the Lamian, Trueborn. I've got Grizar, I've got Incubi, I've got Hellions and Witches. You know the list by now, okay? Go and read and watch another battle report if you haven't.
Go watch all of his videos.
Just watch any battle report on Chris's channel, it'll be there somewhere.
Yeah. So we'll get into more interesting content now. We'll start off with John. What are you brought?
Right, guys, so I am bringing something that you might have seen me play the last time I was on Chris's channel, which was the Iron Warriors Demon Engines. I changed it up just slightly. I've got a Disco Lord, I have my Sorcerer, I've got my Demon Prince, I've got 5 squads of 5-man Chaos Space Marines, all on foot now. I've got my Defiler, I have 2 Mauler Fiends, and I've got 2 Helldrakes. Yeah, you've seen what I did before, but hopefully this time with a little less terrain it can actually do something, not get stuck in forest, Chris.
Oh, I'm going to be putting forest on all the boards, John, just for you.
I love you too, Chris.
I mean, you love a good forest.
Yeah, we're promising at least 3 forests and 2 craters on every board John plays on.
yeah. We're just going to actively have an extra crate of terrain.
Follow John around. Okay. Here you go, John. Frisbeeing them out.
I completely just put a 6x4 crater just to put on his table every time he's playing.
Actually, to be fair, we just put it on the bottom table and it won't matter. Every game.
Heavy Kings will play off.
So Heavy Kingsley playing on the bottom table just on craters and woods only.
Yeah, zero LOS blocking.
Kingsley, go ahead and roll those 12-inch charges. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So
no, you got to remember though, Gavin, that you can't just do you can't just do a 6x4 crater. It's got to be a bunch of individual ones because every individual instance of difficult terrain stacks. So if you go from 1 forest to a crater, it's -4. So you can't do 1 big one. It's got to be like 30 small ones.
How about like 2-inch by 2-inch craters everywhere?
Base size craters.
Don't want to go more than 6 inches, you're dead. Craters all the way down.
Yeah, so you're hoping to just get in and have a good old monster mash with people, John, yeah?
Yeah, that's the idea, is just to get in and have some fun and just bully people with some Demon Engines.
Awesome.
He's going for best sports. He always does.
Yeah, always do.
Yeah.
Happiest man in 40k.
Maybe the wooden spoon as well.
You bet, yeah.
Get you a new kitchen spoon, John.
I don't know. Gavin can go for that with his 3 model AdMech army after he gets removed for painting.
Speaking of which, Gavin, you're bringing AdMech. You evil person. What have you brought?
Gavin, no mates. I am running the same list as I ran on Chris's channel when I did the battle rep against Drukhari, in which he won, actually, because I'm a terrible 40k player. And basically, it is a Lucius detachment made up of 2 Manipuluses, a Skitari Marshal, and then 2 units of Vanguards at 20 man, and then 4 units of Rangers. 1 is a 20 man, and 3 are 5 man. And then 3 units of Iron Shrouded Ballistari, who are 2 man units with las cannons. The second detachment is Ryza, which is a Skitari Marshal and 3 units of Infiltrators at 9 man units with Flechette Blasters and Taser Goads, and then a units of Taraxi Sterilizers, who obviously got a nerf in the AdMech FAQ, but they're still really handy to have. So, yeah, that's me. Basically, kind of simple,
Notable
sweet.
missive list. Where's Exemplar's Eternity, Gavin?
Yeah, sure, shut up, Ennis.
Where's the real one, Zora?
So Gavin's being nice, basically, and not taking the best AdMech list. He's taking his AdMech list.
It's fun.
Like he just didn't look up at what Manny Chima was doing this weekend
Yeah.
and just running that.
I'm not trying. I'm not trying to.
One of my flyers.
Yeah, that is fair as well.
All right, Maddie, how about you? What are you running?
I'm doing Sisters this time, so I'm trying to get a bit more sort of experience playing them. So I'm running double detachment. So I've got Argent Shroud with a bunch of guns in it, a bunch of multi-metal for the rerolls. And then I've also got a melee one of Valor's Heart. So I've got 20 Sacrosancts that are going to be ignoring AP1. And they've got a 5-up shrug against mortal wounds, which I found in your game against you that was quite a big thing for Sisters, was mortal wounds. So again, that's my idea. You throw the heavy hitting melee in front of people that they have to kill. In the meantime, I've got all the multi-metal shooting in the back. No anti-foul though.
Yeah, it's weird seeing Valor's Heart melee detachment, but I guess it kind of makes sense because you get to you've not taken all of the super like punchy melee, you've taken the resilient melee, so just getting it to be more resilient, you just get more turns out of it. So it makes sense in a weird kind of way.
Well, that's it. I played with Repentio once, and I wasn't too keen on them because of the way you've got stacked the buffs now. That they have to be outside the transport the turn before you want to play with them. I just need way more practice
whereas
getting in
Sacrosanct
position.
are just going to be on the board anyway, and then they also give you stuff like Celestine for bodyguard. So yeah, it makes sense in a weird twisted way.
Well, that's it. Especially with Celestine,
Very
it turns out
different
you
from the
have
other sisters lists
evidentials
anyway.
on your scoring objectives. So it's quite nice. It's
Yeah,
fun.
it's quite
That should be the main thing.
Yeah,
Run at people and shoot them. That's all I want to do.
And you're running Celestine and not anti-Val because you ran both in our games and you thought that was a bit too much having those two like 200-point characters taking it's just because 200 points gets you a lot in Sisters, right? You get some mileage out of it. And obviously,
Well, that's
you
it.
also
It's
left
265
anti-Val
points a
here.
thing. Well, that's the main reason why I've not got it, because I left it at yours. Also, I couldn't find the original list at the Hospitalier, which is completely sold out across the world, it seems. And
Yeah.
impossible to get at the minute.
Get bash it.
Yeah, because I couldn't get those two models, I had 300 points to sit in my list. And it just turned out Celestine fitting better.
I mean, Celestine can do work, and she's quite a resilient character and stuff. So it's
She
definitely
also
quite
just
good.
punks mortal wounds on people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so,
a quite a good target for objectives, because she's got the action where she brings herself back to full wounds and stuff, and the one of her bodyguards back. So there's nothing better than somebody leaving her on one wound than just laughing at people as she runs away healing herself.
You can't move in action, Matty. You've got to stay still to do it.
Oh, she stays still and does it. You know what I mean? I'll read the rule book eventually to play this game.
Let him have this moment.
oh, okay.
No, the Rose is overrated, but unless you're playing against sisters, and then you really kind of need to.
Yeah. And do you have all of your tokens made, Matty, for your 10,000 Sisters buffs? Same for you, Gavin, mind you. With your
I've
Yeah.
got a great token, because I've got stickers on bases for my tokens. I went all out for this.
Wow.
They're so bad.
Yeah, so
They're honestly, like, the first time I use them, the opponent's going to get the TO to take them off the tables for being how bad they are. The 25 mil bases, I've got one sticker on it, and I've tried to write every last bit of information on them so you can't actually read them.
You know the token is just like the temporary buffs which you put on from characters, right? It's not like all the buffs that they could ever have. It's just the ones that you put on for that turn or...
Oh,
Yeah,
I've written cards
the
for all
ones
my
I've
ball
got where it's like
pistols.
going,
So many splinter rifles.
After all my status has to say they've got hotworks.
Okay, well, your list should be a good test of how durable Sisters can be, and I'm quite keen to see how that goes, because I reckon that could go somewhere. Innes, your Frog, Templars.
Yeah, so I am playing Space Marines because I have the originality of a dead fish. So we are playing Black Templars. I have got High Marshal Helbrecht, Chaplain Grimaldus, and a Jumper Chaplain who is upgraded to be a Master Sanctity. We have 3x5 Crusaders, which are the Black Templar special troop choices, who have all got chainswords. Sergeants have got 2 chainswords because why wouldn't you have 2 chainswords if you can have 2 chainswords? 2 company veterans, 7 Terminators with 5 Storm Shield and Thunderhammer, and 2 with Lightning Claws. 10 Storm Shield Lightning Claw Vanguard veterans, 3 Blade Guard, 2 Redemptors with Plasma, 3 Eradicators with Heavy Metal Rifles and a Multi-Melta, and then for my 7th and 8th elite slots in my battalion, an Apothecary and 3 Cenobite Servitors.
7 and 8 elite slots. Love it.
I love the fact as well, Ernest, that like I've been getting messages from about 3 or 4 people in the past week since past few days since the list dropped, and they're all like, "What the fuck does Ernest's list do?" And I'm like, "Why the hell are you asking me? I've not played against it."
I've had the same thing.
So the trick is that I'm 1 Dreadnought off a Highlander list, and that makes me really happy because I designed it. Didn't design it to be that, but it has ended up being that. Is if I swapped out 1 Redemptor for anything else, it would be a Highlander list, and I just kind of love that.
Just for the benefit of those who are watching who don't know what a Highlander list is, what is a Highlander list?
So there is no unit in my army except Crusaders, which are my troops choice, so that's allowed, and Redemptor Dreadnoughts. I have more than one of. Every other unit in my list is unique. So I have 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts and 3 of my troops choice, and then it's fully unique down the line after that.
Nice.
Which I just think is the sickest thing. Because it just kind of lined up that way, and that I didn't really want to have anything except Dreadnoughts.
And yeah, so it's a pretty awesome list. And I've had a few people ask me, "What is this nonsense that you've brought?" And I said, like, "What is?"
So you guys are gonna have to tell me after the vote who's been asking, because I need to know.
I've just said it devout pushes and left it at that.
Oh, shit, you're gonna have to explain how my list works to me as well, Chris, because like it's not going well.
Yeah. So what's everyone's expectations? Like, how far do they want to go in the tournament? Do they want to like what score do you want to finish? Is there any of the prizes you're absolutely gunning for in this event? Like, what are people's thoughts? We'll start off with Innes. We're going to go counterclockwise.
Oh, go with the easy targets,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Innes.
Well, the last singles event in Scotland that I played in was in 2019, and I scored a perfect 100 points. So clearly, if I don't at least match that and score 101 in 6 games, like I'm going to have a full extra game to score more points. If I can't get to 101, I'll be disappointed. So we're obviously going for the event when I'd be a fool not to be trying for it. We've had such a long time since events that it's really, it's time to get back on the wagon, to do a few things properly. So yeah, we're going for the win here. I'll be disappointed with less than podium. But that's just kind of who I am as a person, that I will be disappointed with anything less than first, to be honest. But we'll just have to live with that. So yeah, that's my goal, is get that perfect 120 if possible. If not, first place.
Awesome. Yeah. So hopefully, you'll be taking home the biggest trophy that I've bought, and decorating your shelf somewhere with it, and yeah, getting yourself another KR case to match your other KR cases.
That's always the goal. It's just I just don't want to have to buy KR cases. That's the only reason I'm going to 40K.
That's the only reason.
Why buy KR cases when you can just win KR cases?
Yeah,
exactly.
Matty, how about you? What are your goals for this event?
Because I'm still US sisters, my hope is 3-3. So what?
Yeah.
Win as many as I lose.
Yeah.
So the goal is to lose heavily on my first game. So I just like people on the lower side. That's what the smart play is.
So torpedo then, is that the aim, Matty?
Just go for the good little submarine. Get like that 12-8 loss, and then smash a few games, and then lose like game 5 and 6 when it doesn't matter and everybody's tired anyway, and then you can go to the bar.
Exactly.
Easy.
Yeah.
This is what you do.
Yeah. So I don't know who you're playing round 1, but round 2 is against John then. Yeah.
100%.
Round 1, Matty's against Johnston Hodge.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm against the next one forward. It should be a fun game.
Yeah, it should be awesome. We'll get into round 1s later after this. Gavin, your expectations for the event with your
Top 10.
very, very balanced faction.
Yeah. Like, it's one of those. I usually do okay at events. I usually come out with like more wins than losses, but I wouldn't class myself as an amazing player. And I know the competition that is at this event will be quite high, so I expect to get hit hard in a few matchups. So I'm gonna go for top 10. I feel is a realistic expectation. Obviously, my overall aim is to try and get podium, but that's not always going to be possible sometimes, depending on matchups. So,
Yeah, awesome. John, what are your expectations?
Hopefully win round 1 and then go 3-3 at the entire event. Just, nice piece of play number. The field.
You have a grudge round one, don't you, John?
I do have a grudge round 1.
Yeah.
We'll find out about that in a moment.
So do you want to talk some shit about your grudge?
I will do when we talk about our first rounds in a moment.
Yeah. So we'll get into grudges and what they are, because again, people who are watching this may have never been to a tournament before, so we'll get into all that. My expectation for
Chris,
the event.
what's your expectation?
I literally just started saying that. My expectation is to go top 10, the same as Gavin. If I wasn't running this event, I would try and go top 5. That would be my goal, because I'm playing with Drew Carey. It's a faction I feel I'm practiced on now. I played against Innes a ton of times, and Innes is one of the best players in the country. So I feel like I've got my skills to a decent point where that's a good expectation. But I'm also running the event, and that would inevitably take time away from my games. So bringing it down to top 10.
So hint, all his opponents put him on a clock.
Oh, no, absolutely. I'm playing a practice game.
Same advice for people playing Gavin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, his command phase, his first one will take like an hour.
I'm more talking about firing flechette blasters. That takes a while, man.
So I've got a practice game.
He's only got small ladylike hands. You can't hold 50 dice.
And I'm wanting to have like 10 minutes left on the clock when I finish, which hasn't happened yet. In his nose, I tend to run down the clock quite fast.
Yeah.
So I'm wanting to leave 10 minutes just for TOing nonsense, for being called away from the table and stuff like that. Because I'm expecting every single movement phase to be called away to answer some question, just throughout the entire event. So round 1 matchups. John, you've got a grudge. Do you want to explain to us what a grudge is, why you're grudged or have been grudged, and who is this person?
So for those who don't know about grudges, you can pre-challenge an opponent. I have chosen Ryan Stevenson because we have never actually played the event, and it's been quite a long time since we met and went to events, but I never seem to get paired against them. So it's like, right, this event, let's get a game in together, because we're always at events, so we never play. So let's do this. So yeah, like I said, it's like you're going to your opponent, like me and you play round 1. That's you sort of for your first round, and yeah, if it's against your mates that you might not see for a long time, like Ryan or that, it's great fun. Or it could just be like, right, I got smashed by Innes last time. Let's go for round 1 with him, and then you got.
I get smashed again.
Yeah. Like,
that's how kind of goes. Yeah.
People are very eager to try and lose to me again. It's quite fun.
And it could be stuff like last time you played against your opponent that they absolutely diced you. They rolled amazingly hot, so you could be like, right, I'm having you next time. You can go.
Yeah.
Or even like if you've had a really good game against somebody, like I've grudged people in the past based on the fact I've had amazingly good games against them, and I just really enjoyed it and want to play them again. So
yeah. Every TO kind of does grudges individually. Some will just not allow them to. Other times it'll be like you have to have an actual reason, like an actual grudging reason.
I know the Dutch do them. The Dutch do them in the last round, and you don't get points for the game. So if you want to play a friend in the last round instead of playing your final game, you can, but you don't get any points for it. So it varies from event to event.
Yeah, the only time I've ever grudged someone was like Gavin.
Yeah.
And that was a fun game, but it did kind of ruin your tournament a little bit. There.
Yes, it did. Thank you for that, Chris.
Well, he was already playing GSC, so he's ruined it for himself.
Yeah. So typically, you can't grudge players from your own clubs. That's something that I have. No clubbing there. So
that's
John,
pretty unsportsmanlike.
You're round 1.
Yeah. So playing against Ryan, and he's bringing Eldari, the craft holders. He's bringing the D. All the D cannons you can fit into an army. I think he's got 2 or 3 weapon batteries with the D, and it's 2 base tiers with the D. He's got 3 units of Shining Spears, I believe. Characters on bite, Sparseers, Warlocks, and a couple of Nick Springers. So we're
So
going
it's all
to
the
hit
indirect, all
hard.
the D.
Yeah.
And Can somebody tell John that it's squads of D cannons, not single D cannons? He's got
Yeah.
like 6.
Yeah. He's
So
got 60 cannons
you're
total.
going to charge him, and he's going to shoot you. And there'll be
And
forests
then
and
he's going to
craters on
charge
the
with
board.
spears. Yeah. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, he's going to also come at me with these spears as well, so it'll be somewhere in the middle, won't he?
Well, it's a good mission for you because vital intelligence means Ryan has to come to the middle to score points.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just make sure he does that. You know,
Yeah.
We'll make
and then
sure.
you'll be alright.
Cool.
Make sure you go second.
Yeah. Gavin, you're on one. How are you feeling?
I'm up against Andrew Kingswell, who is on the GSC bandwagon, which I started him off on, I think, the last tournament of 8th Ed, when I played Necrons into his Salamanders, and he went, oh yeah, Salamanders aren't enough of a challenge. What would you recommend? And I went, GSC. He's been on GSC ever since, and they have just taken a nosedive off a
So
cliff,
you can
basically.
say
Why
it was
would
a
you,
planned
why would you
generations
do
in the
that
making.
to the purple?
Ever since then, I'm like, I don't know why you're still playing GC. He's like, I really enjoy them, and I'm like, fair enough.
On the coat. Come
I'm
on.
so sorry.
All right. So are you feeling optimistic about this matchup? Playing Admech?
I'm feeling optimistic. It's one of those things that GSC, obviously, I know a lot of their tricks that they pull. I know how to counter them, and AdMech are generally going to be very good against the stuff that they do have. So
Yeah. So you're very confident this will be a
You could have just stopped at Admech are generally very good.
yes, but
Yeah. So Maddie, you're 1-1. How are you feeling?
Yeah, so I'm against the Necron Horde, so it's 60 warriors, a Catan, and a splattering of other things. So I think it'll be a fun matchup. Because he's so tech, he's obviously rapid firing from 18. So it's essentially can I survive a turn of 120 shots shot at me? If yes, I keep going forward. That's sort of the thing. It'll be, can he kill me quickly? If not, I think I'll just kind of run over it.
So if
Is
you
it
get into
Ghost Reapers or
combat-
Ghost Flayers?
he hasn't actually said in his list on BCP.
Well, we'll have to get that clarified.
What?
It
Sorry?
says Sotic in the primary detachment Necron Sotic battalion, and it'll be Reapers, Ghost Flayers because they're the default weapon.
Yeah.
So
well,
it'll
say
be
if-
rapid
if-
fire, which means
if
that those
it's not
Paragons are going to be
declared.
laughing.
If it's
Then
not
it's the
declared,
base,
it
yeah.
has to be the default stuff.
Yeah. So I
So,
guess
yeah,
Slayers.
So
You're going to be having a really good time with the Ignore AP1 on all of those
Yeah.
sacrosancts.
Yeah. That's what I said. All the stuff I throw at him, it'll just be like straight on. Just get my normal armor save. Stick him in a crater to troll John and get that +1 save.
Oh,
You don't need it. They're only AP1.
he also has a reanimator.
I mean, good man. Like, I'm proud of him.
I
He
mean,
didn't cover all of his spiders. So.
Good effort on that one.
yeah. So it's basically as a case.
They're
of,
actually okay on WC terrain because they can hide behind a wall and keep the 4-up reanimation on, and it gives you really good ways to hold objectives into some really tough armies.
Fair.
I like it.
So if you get into melee, you think you've done a good job there, but if you don't get into melee, you might struggle a bit. Is that a fair assessment?
That's what I said. It'll purely depend on the damage you can do for the first couple of turns.
Do
If
you-
I can reach him, I think it's going to go downhill for him.
do you have
But
a
if I
plan
can
in
reach
case you
it, it's
can't
going
reach
to be
him?
pray, hope. Hopefully, I get some good miracle dice. Is that not what sisters
Eat, pray, love. Okay, cool.
pray for sixes?
Get some
Roll
miracles.
6s, don't roll not 6s.
That's
Come
what
on,
I
it's
said.
rules
Isn't
of
rule
40K.
1 not rule 6s? Just follow
Have you
the
got your
rules.
shirt
It's
ready,
fine. 100% do it. It's in my bag at the minute. Just needs to iron and I'm ready to go.
Iron,
Almost for
bloody hell.
tonight, just for you. I know how much you like them.
Yeah, I wish I
People
still
iron
found my
shirts
cult
in the
shirt.
year of Hardware 2021.
In this your round one matchup, how are you feeling?
Yeah, so I have Steve Lee, Steve Lee and his Mono Thousand Sun. So it's got a few decent tricks. So he's got like the Zinch Locus, which can make me not hit as well in combat. He's got teleporting Mauler Fiends, which I just think is the coolest shit, and I'm surprised John's not playing that. Now, because like you can have teleporting Mauler Fiends, John. You could be playing teleporting Mauler Fiends and you're not doing that.
You never told me about this.
You don't have to tell you about anything, John.
Yeah, you should just know what the Thousand Suns Cottage Duplicity does.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got a lot of smite output, a lot of punchy output. not a lot of shooting, so I kind of just get to do whatever I want with my Redemptors, which is nice. That's their ideal scenario, is doing whatever they want. And then obviously Black Templars have that nasty little 4-up field no pain against mortal wounds, which kind of puts a damper on most of what Tzeentch want to do. So
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty confident. Obviously, we've still got a game to play. It's Vital Intelligence, which means it's always going to be a rough mission if you go second. You don't get to take board control. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I'm feeling good.
Yeah, awesome. So I'm up against Tao. I'm up against I end up against Ross, who's a fellow clubmate.
Come on, Ross!
And he's bringing Tao. He's the only Tao player, and I know Innes covered his list in detail over in the Team Scotland stream. But it's the Farsight Enclave. I'm not gonna die list where you got like the 9 crisis unit, and you think he's got 3 guys with the 2-up armor save, 2 guys with the invulnerable. And one of the 2-up, 4-up chaps will have ignoring -1 and 2, which means my lances are going to be very inefficient into that unit, particularly because he has 15 drones with 17 wounds amongst those drones to chew through as well. And Ross is a very good Tau player, so I know that I can't just put Splinter Fire into this crisis unit to try and bounce the wounds off from the drones to try and kill the drones. Has to be something other than that. And beyond that, he's got the Riptide with the relic gun, which is like 3 plus D3 damage. Which if that thing sees a raider, that raider is gonna die a horrible death. Which I'm sure many people would love to see. And then also just
we're all rooting for Ross, man. We are all rooting.
Yeah, none of us are rooting for you
I'm
in this
rooting for Ross
matchup.
as well, if that makes up for it. I would love to see Tao go quite long in this event. And also, Ross doesn't come to a lot of tournaments, so I want this to be a good tournament for him.
I think this is his second tournament, but it's his first single-player one.
Yeah, so it should be good. It's a great game.
He did teams a couple years back.
I've always had good games against Ross. I think it's going to come down to the secondary picks for this mission, because neither of us are going to like holding the objectives against the other person, because I've got trading units and he is Tau with a lot of shooting. There's also a lot of maneuverability. If I can trap his suits with my witches, though, I'll be laughing, because
you'll get punched to death by them, man. They're gonna just pop the rerolls to hit and win stratagem and rip you to bits.
I believe that my Heliarch with the relic whip of no fallback will survive.
That's a Hecatrix, not a Heliarch. Come on.
Whatever. Hecatrix of the Crucible with the Morbid Agonizer. Oh, bye, Matty. Yeah, so, but I think it's going to be a very tight game either way. I think it very well could end up in a draw, which is going to be interesting. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
Which, for the record, because we're using differential scoring, just means they're going to be within 5 points of each other.
Yeah.
So you need to win by 6 points or more to actually get a win in this format.
Yeah, which is, I think it's a more interesting way to play 40k with the 20 scoring. It can get a bit weird in singles. It's more for teams, but I think it's so good in singles. So we're coming to the
obviously I love it.
Of the video. Just go through the room again. Any final thoughts? Any final comments about the tournament? What you expect? What you're hoping for? Everything like that.
I hope to fight.
It feels so good to be going to a tournament again.
Yeah. I'm just happy we're actually having one after all this time.
Yeah. The last one, for the record, in Scotland was last summer, which was Clan Wars team event, right? That was the last tournament for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had September last year, and then there was Scotland in February, and then this is it since then.
Yeah.
And now we've got like 4 and 3 months. It's gonna be great.
And it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, so happy to go to tournament. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, want to fight Ennis at some point, just for the lols.
Why don't you crunch him?
You forgot to bring any of the
Because-
fallback and shoot mechanics, Gavin.
Me. Who needs it?
Terminators are going to come and touch you, Gavin.
I mean, they do that anyway. It's Ennis.
What's the maximum move your Terminator unit can make in a turn in this?
If we're including my opponent's previous turn,
Yes. Yes. So in a round.
Yeah.
So is it in a round?
they could move 31 and then do pilot and consolidation.
Yeah.
There you go, Gavin.
37 if I
Yeah.
used Devout Push twice.
Try and hide from that, Gavin.
And then obviously
Oh.
add 6 to that for Vanguard veterans.
I'm honestly not that surprised, Chris, bearing in mind I have played in this numerous times and know what kind of bullcrap he comes out with.
Yeah. John, any closing thoughts?
I would never do anything close to bullcrap.
You bloody would, you know it.
The doubt was strong in that comment. John, final thoughts?
Yeah, let's get cracking, man. Yeah, I've got a half an army to build for Alan, and I got to paint my own. So yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. This is the reason why you're only seeing like
Good luck.
9% of John's head. Is because he's building
Yeah.
Redemptors and Intercessors for one of other companies.
It's because the camera can't contain his power.
The camera cannot contain his power. Exactly. Yeah, for me, I'm just hoping that the event runs smoothly. You know, I'm just really wanting it to be a nice, smooth event. No major dramas amongst the players. Hopefully, everyone kind of gets along and doesn't have falling outs over the rules. And
So Innes, how are we creating the drama for him?
We're gonna make sure somebody goes down the back stairwell.
Yep.
We'll fly Tim in.
oh no! Let's cancel through this.
Get Tim to play against my admech just so he realizes what all of my rules do.
Oh, Gavin the Tim Whisperer. Oh, right. Anyway, right.
And I am going to have at least 3 judge calls over Devout Push. I promise you.
Oh, you absolutely are.
It is. You're going to be a guest judge, so it's perfect. You can just handle that yourself.
Yeah, but I can't ref my own games. But yeah, people are gonna complain about Devout Push.
I
can
am going to
feel
be
it in
having
my
a bit of
voice.
help running this. We're going to have Innes and Simon as assistant judges to help with the TO calling, and John is going to be helping out all the new players that are navigating an event the first time.
My usual job anyway, so why not?
Yeah. John did ask for a T-shirt with a guitar title on it, but I said I'll just write a Sharpie on his head instead. I think that.
Just get a white vest and just like scribbled on the back of it. I'm sure John will really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you everyone for coming and having the chat. John, you had something to say?
No, that's fine.
Okay,
that's
cool.
fine.
Yeah, so
Okay.
thank you everyone for coming and having the chat, and yeah, it should be a great event. If we'll do another one of these with the OPG hosts post event. Some people will be smiling, others will be crying. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, that's gonna be Gavin when he gets bottom 3 out of a 30's favorite event with Advent.
Yeah. With admech.
I've got
I mean-
second against Dark Eldar 4 times. Help me.
If anyone can do it, it's me. So
Yeah. So yeah,
I'll see you for that spoon, Gavin.
if you have any comments and questions about the event, just pop them down in the comments below. And if you want to direct any of them to the hosts here, I'll kind of prompt them when I see the notification to go and answer your queries. And all this you'll find in the BCP. I'll put a link down to the event down in the comments below, in the description below as well. So yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. Do all the YouTube stuff. Thank you very much.